Hello everyone, this is Rahul Pawar and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to continue our learning and we'll discuss about few more string functions. So in our previous video, we have tried to understand four important functions of string, that is left, right, mid and split. And today we'll continue our learning and we'll see ltrim, rtrim, trim, space and length. These five functions we'll try to understand today. Okay, so let us get started without wasting much time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a calculated field. Okay, and I'm going to write it as string functions. It's date. Okay, now so these trim functions generally are used to remove any extra spaces that are there in your field, I would say, in generic if I talk. So what happens is generally some data entry operator, or assume that some data entry operator is trying to enter the data from the front end, and while entering he might enter some spaces unknowingly. Okay, like we have a habit of putting enter after the dot like that. So now this extra space is getting created. So this space is not visible to our naked eye sometimes. So we feel that actually the string is, so if you observe our actual the way we read is extra spaces that are there in your field dot, but there is an extra space here. Okay, so because of this there might be some discrepancies when you're trying to find out the value that will not match. So we have to make our code standardized. Again, this is one of the code standardization functions which we use in real time to make our string consistent in finding the value or equating the value. So let us try to see an example here. Okay, so to show you the example, what I'm doing is I'm taking a simple string here, like say Tableau I'm taking here. Okay, and I'm calling that in quote simple. Now I want to find out what is the string length of this. Okay, so before we learn about spaces, so first we need to find out how our space is impacting. So to calculate the length of the string, we have a function called as length, len, which will give us the length of the string. Like say we need to take only those phone numbers whose string length is 10, because we know that the number of digits that are there in our phone is 10, but there might be chances that some might enter incorrect numbers, or there might be a number of like more than 10 numbers. So client will give you a specific requirement and tell that, okay, don't consider any phone numbers that are greater than 10, consider only those numbers or phone numbers whose length is 10. So this kind of requirement we get. Now to find out length, we can use this function. So I'm just simply taking this Tableau, this string that we have taken, and trying to pass this to that. Now I'm clicking on apply, and I just want to convert this into dimension, and I'll take this on label. Now see what is the string length of Tableau. It is 7 here if you observe. Okay, again a static value we are trying to pass here. Now I'm adding an extra space here, like say this one. Some random spaces I'm trying to enter. So when I enter, I'm clicking on apply. So it is 12. See, so 5 spaces we have added extra. Because this is a very static value, you are able to identify that there is an extra space here. But in real time, we will not pass a static value in most of the cases. So what we'll do, we'll try to pass some value that is coming from the field. So again, let us take the example of our category. Okay, so I want to find out the length of each of my category here, category item or subcategory item, whatever you want. So I'm taking subcategory for now. So how can we find out now? So I'm just removing this Okay, and if I try to pass subcategory here, so for each of this subcategory item, it will give me the length here. See, accessories is 11, art is 3, like that. Now suppose if at all I want to find out my subcategory items whose length is 3, or I want to take only those subcategory items whose length is 3. So simply if I put equal to 3, can you guess what would be the output of this field now, or the data type of this field? Can you guess? Pause the video and you can comment in my comment section what would be the output, the data type of this field if I write it like this. So now what will happen? Every value of subcategory will come here. First, accessories will come. Okay. And will come into this. So length of accessories. So the execution started 11 is equal to 3. So what would be the result? It would be false. Likewise, next item, appliances will come. So length of appliances again. So 10 is the output. 10 is equal to 3 because on the right side we have 3 items. This will try to equate with the every value of subcategory item we have. So likewise, it will keep on continue until it finds the true item. Okay. So next is art, which is 3 here and here also 3. Then what is the value here? It is true. Sorry, here it should be false. Okay. So now at the max, what are the possible items or possible values from this field? If I put equal to, either it is true or false. There is no other possibility of coming any other value. So that's why what Tableau does is it will define this data type as Boolean data type. So this is something we need to understand, or this is something that I want you guys to master in. I want you guys to guess or understand what would be the data type of the field that I'm going to create, because majority of errors that we get at Tableau are because of data type mismatch. So we always need to make sure of 2 points whenever you are trying to write functions or logics. One, your data type should be same, and level of aggregation of data should be same. Otherwise, they will not match. If you are using aggregated fields, you have to use aggregated fields. If you are trying to use disaggregated fields, you have to use disaggregated fields. It's not like one place you are using aggregated and you are trying to equate it with disaggregated, then you might get errors. So that is something that we need to avoid. The Tableau will define this as Boolean data type. So if I go and check my string functions, see here, true or false. But in this, assume if there are any extra spaces, I will not know, nor you will know, because only directly subcategory we are passing. And if you look in here, it is hard to find out if there are any spaces. So that is why we have functions called as trim functions. Okay, to find out that. So I'm just commenting this. And now I'm getting back to my trim function here. So I'm using it. And first, now today we'll use multiple functions together now. So we are moving a level ahead, and I'm simply passing some spaces on the left. Okay. And I'm just closing this under bracket. Okay. And I'm using trim function here. Okay. So, and then I'm trying to find out length of, and just hit enter. Sorry. I'll just try to hit enter and I'll write length of this. Now, first, what will happen? First, this trim function is going to get executed. Sorry, ltrim I need to write. So first, this ltrim is going to get executed. So what will happen? The spaces that are there on the left side of the string. Ltrim means spaces on the left side of the string will be removed. Okay. So now after removing these spaces, it will give us the length here. Okay. I'm clicking on apply. So what is the result here? It is giving us the standard length of 7. So no matter how many number of spaces you have on the left side, it is not going to impact anything. So it is directly going to remove the spaces here. So let me give the size here. But now I'm trying to add extra space on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Click on apply. Now see what is happening. It is giving us 14 count. We are using ltrim. Now I have spaces on the left side and on the right side, both the sides. But we are trying to trim on the left side only. So that is why whatever the spaces are there on the right side, it is getting calculated and it is giving us the count. Now I want to trim the spaces on the right side also. So again, I'm trying to add another function here to trim on the right side. So this time what I'm doing is I'm using rtrimfunction here. Rtrim of bracket open and I'm closing this. So where you are opening your bracket and where you are closing your bracket is very important point in while writing your logics. So that is where again many errors will get. Okay, so make sure you are writing properly. So if you are facing confusion while writing multiple functions together, write only single line functions. Like first write this in a single line, then like how I have written second line, you can write it here and you can close the bracket on the second line, and for the third line you can close the bracket like this. So this will give you a clarity like where this bracket is opening and where this is closing, similarly where this is closing and this is opening, like that. Okay, one important tip for all of you. Now, so first what happens is first this will get executed. Okay, what happens? The resultant set, the spaces on the left side is removed, and to your rtrim function only this will be passed. Okay, so in rtrim again this will be removed and only this tableau will be passed to your length function. So when I click on apply, we are getting our 7 value here. So that is how this trim function will work. So it is going to remove the extra spaces that are there on your left side or on your right side and then finding the length. So sometimes there is a probability that there might be spaces on the right side. Then you will use rtrim function. If there are spaces on the left side, then you will use ltrim function. Two possible scenarios. But you got information from your client or the DBA team that they have spaces on the both side, very confirmed in use. Then simply without ltrim or rtrim directly you can use trim function. This also we can directly use. So now what this trim function will do, this will remove the spaces on the both the sides in a single instance. Say we are getting 7 value. So this is something that we need to understand, and this is something that is required to make your code standard. So these are like, always write your code with code standards techniques. Okay, so we might get errors, it's not like regular every day you will get errors. So while data load is happening, there might be something fishy happened. Because of that you got some extra spaces, then your report will get blank. Again you have to come and fix it. So to avoid all of that, you need to follow certain coding standards in real time. Okay, so that is when these trim functions will come into picture, your ltrim, your rtrim, or your trim functions. So trim will directly trim on the both sides, and if it is specifically, if at all you are using, then you can use this. So next important function is space. Okay, now we have learned how to remove spaces, but now I'm going to tell you how to add spaces. Like say I'm going to take a region here, and I'm going to take let us take customer name I'm going to take, or let us take cate category item I'm going to take, and I'm just dropping it. Now I want to merge these two. Okay, for each region category I want to append. So like how I have shown you yesterday, I'm going to write it. But while I do that, I'm just converting this into single line statement here. But for you, I will recommend single line here. I'm just commenting this. And now what I'm doing is simply region, like how we have done here, regions plus category I'm doing. So what will happen? These two will get merged. Click on apply. Now, if you observe here, central furniture, central office supplies, central technology, but I want to add some extra space in between. Okay, so like you are merging your first name plus last name you are trying to do. Then what we need to add some extra space in between. It is not like we have some space in the field, so sometimes we might manually want to add space. So there are two methods to that. So I can simply put plus, and under quote I can add some one space, and again I can add like this, and I can put apply. Now you see there is a space here. So in this quote, I'm simply passing one space. That is also very possible scenario, but not you don't want to do that. You want to use the functions that are available in Tableau. Then you can simply use space here. Space is the function. Under that space, you need to specify how many spaces you need. I need only one space. Now what will happen between your region and your category item? One space will be added. Click on apply. See. Likewise, if I add five spaces will be added in between this. So something okay went wrong here. Okay, we got this. Right. See now five spaces. Same thing, you can use it like this or like this also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces are given under quotes. So both are very possible situations. You can use whatever you want. Okay, but we have a ready-made functions available in Tableau that you can use. So always for a better performance, you can use the functions that are given by Tableau to solve your issues rather than using the tweak method here to get the spaces. Space function is suggested here or recommended here. Now suppose you want to pass some static information, like say some textual information, then that also you can do it in your calculated field. Simply like say this is, I'm passing some random information. This is my second video on string functions. So normal text I'm trying to pass. So like this also I can pass in Tableau, and I can use it for various purpose. So you want to add some information on tooltip. So this information you want to add it on tooltip. So that is also very possible. I can just drop it on tooltip. Now if I put my cursor, it will show. See, this is my second video on string functions. Like that. Okay. So this is what today's video is all about. I hope you have liked the video. If you like it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day and bye bye.